It seems the former president didn't want to allow them to build their case. He went on to say, if the DOJ and FBI cannot do their job honestly and without bias and hold the aspiring assassin responsible to the full extent of the law, Governor Ron DeSantis and the state of Florida have already agreed to take the lead on the investigation and prosecution. Florida charges would be much more serious than the ones the FBI has announced. The truth would be followed wherever it leads. Our justice system is corrupt and discredited, especially as it pertains to the 45th president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Let Florida handle the case. Now, look, this is the sort of political gamesmanship that is just bad for the investigation. I said this last week when Governor DeSantis actually announced he was launching a parallel investigation.
I've directed state agencies to move expeditiously and to provide full transparency to the public. In my judgment, it's not in the best interest of our state or our nation to have the same federal agencies that are seeking to prosecute Donald Trump leading this investigation, especially when the most serious, straightforward offense constitutes a violation of state law, but not federal law. In addition to holding the suspect accountable, the public deserves to know the truth about how this assassination came to be.
Come on, why not just work with the feds, which would be the case in any other investigation of this sort? Federal investigators would take the lead. Let me ask my old pal Pam Bondi, former Republican Florida Attorney General, who was a special advisor to President Trump. Pam, good to see you. Thank you for being here. All right, tell me you aren't going to defend Governor. I don't know what you're going to say on this, but are you going to defend Governor DeSantis' position on this?
First, it's great to see you, Dan. I've known you for many years. So it's great to see you. So here's who I'm going to defend. I'm going to defend Donald Trump, who's the victim in this case. And to disagree with you for a moment, nothing about this case is done in the usual course of business. You've got Donald Trump. So he's a victim, of course, of not one, but two attempted assassinations. Two. Yet the agency who's investigating him wanting to lock him up forever, the FBI and the DOJ, they raided his home at Mar-a-Lago. The director of the FBI, after the first assassination attempt, said, oh, President Trump may have been hit by a piece of stray glass. We all know he was shot. And the head of the FBI in the Southern District of Florida, Dan, made vicious statements about the president that he had to remove from social media. So put yourself in his place, in the victim's place, Donald Trump. You have Ron DeSantis, whatever his motive is, coming out saying, hey, we have parallel jurisdiction. And then you have the federal Department of Justice. You're a victim. Who would you choose to want to make sure you're safe if you're Donald Trump? Now, having said that, though, I do not know the U.S. Attorney in the Southern District, and I am praying and hoping that he is a fair man and that this is going to be prosecuted wisely and smartly by the feds. I can't imagine anyone in this country who wouldn't want this monster locked up forever. At all. So
I accept your argument there about looking at it through Donald Trump's prism, right? Through his mind, that he may say, look, I don't want these guys being the ones to lead this investigation, which is why I would hope that someone like you, who both has the ear to some degree of Donald Trump and has the experience that you have, would say, guys, this is the way it works. The way it works is the feds take the lead. If they show us that they're not ready to do the job. I mean, this attempted assassination charge that they just filed means up to life in prison. So I would hope that you would say, look, let's let them do their work. Let's not have another investigation where witnesses might be interviewed twice. And as a result, you might have people say something different, which could then be used by the defense attorney saying, aha, you see, in these two separate investigations, the same witnesses said different things. Those all seem like risks that none of us should want to take.
Yeah, and Dan, you're a brilliant attorney. And that's so Nick Cox is the statewide prosecutor for the entire state of Florida. I actually hired him when I was Attorney General, and he didn't ask for this case. The governor and the Attorney General asked for the case. So Nick is a prosecutor's prosecutor. He's about as apolitical as it comes. And I would hope that Nick would talk to the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District and say, hey, just what you said, we want to work hand in hand, because you and I know the feds have this case now. This guy's in federal custody. Thank goodness he's not going anywhere. He's locked up without bond. He's not going anywhere. So hopefully Nick can work with them, Nick Cox. If I was the U.S. Attorney in the Southern District, what I would do is I would cross-designate Nick Cox, who's tried countless homicides. I've tried countless homicides with him. This is an ace prosecutor.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.